Stefanski is now saying, over my dead body will Shedeur get a shot. This is all-time shameful on the part of Kevin Stefanski. He won't even speak Shedeur's name in these interview sessions.
Kevin Stefanski is really enjoying this moment. Kevin Stefanski is making the Browns organization basically Jerry Springer. He's making a mockery of the situation and enjoying it.
They say football is a game of strategy, but apparently Stefanski's strategy is bench your best guy when the world's watching. 6 minutes left, 31-6 lead, and Shedeur's still warming the bench like he's in witness protection. Fans didn't just lose patience, they started planning his coaching funeral in real time. What was he thinking? Why wouldn't he play the star when the game was basically won? Stick around because this meltdown is pure chaos.
It looked like members of Cleveland media is calling out Kevin Stefanski for not playing Shedeur Sanders in the fourth quarter. I feel like Shedeur definitely should have played. I feel like that's why Junior was there. It was multiple reasons and multiple situations that I was hearing that Shedeur was supposed to play yesterday. It was a damn near, I don't want to say an easy win because there's never really an easy win in the National Football League for any team on any given Sunday.
If you're enjoying, please subscribe Shedeur Sanders to the channel. It helps more than you think. 6 minutes left on the clock. 31-6. A game basically won, fans relaxed, halftime energy still buzzing through the stadium like they were at a theme park, not a football field. And then it hits everyone like a cold bucket of reality. Shedeur Sanders, the quarterback. Everyone was hyped to see the guy people bought their jerseys for. The reason half the stadium even showed up is on the bench.
A win that we could have seen coming, you know what I'm saying, based on the stat sheets, based on the team and how each team is facilitated, and Dolphins are just bad. They were supposed to win that game. I'll just say that. Now, with that being said, they blew them out the water. Shedeur should have played in that fourth quarter. No ifs, ands, no buts about it. Now, I'm not the only one that feels this way because every media person in Cleveland does, bro. And it's clear as day that they have an agenda against Shedeur.
Not in, not taking snaps, just sitting there, smiling awkwardly, maybe wondering if this is some elaborate practical joke. But no, this is Coach Stefanski's reality, and apparently his personal agenda is crystal clear.
When you talk about backup quarterback, this is the thing where people talk about the noise on the outside and different things like that. Nobody watches the interaction between backup quarterbacks and regular quarterbacks. In regular teams, we don't care if Carson Wentz is standing next to Patrick Mahomes. You just watch Patrick Mahomes because he's good and you know what it is. But what happens is, because we are at a point that we want to watch and we need to figure out or justify why or why not is he not playing, then we got to go through these mental gymnastics. Trust me, when you're the backup quarterback, you got a headset.
How do you even explain this? You've got a lead so massive it makes the scoreboard blush. You're cruising toward the finish line like a Sunday drive. And yet here's Stefanski, apparently convinced that Shedeur is some kind of forbidden fruit, some magical player who must be banished until he learns humility, or submits to the whims of a man with clipboard authority.
Why didn't we see Shedeur in the fourth quarter? Kevin has already come out and said, Shedeur Sanders is not coming into a game, I mean, unless he absolutely has to, Dylan gets hurt. He's not playing until he has a full week of practice and a game plan designed for him. Why would you just put him in the fourth quarter to hand the ball off to ice the game? Then people are gonna be mad, they didn't let him throw the ball. Well, no kidding, we were up 31-6.
It's raining.
It's raining. Like you're not gonna just let Dylan just ride the game out. And like I saw somebody post on Twitter that said Dylan totally deserved to go take that kneel down in victory formation for his first ever victory.
Fans are witnessing it in real time, and the reactions are pure chaos. Social media erupts, group chats explode, and somewhere, someone is probably spilling nachos out of sheer disbelief. How can a coach hate someone this much? I mean, the guy is literally just waiting to throw passes, orchestrate plays, and maybe even give fans that cinematic slow-motion touchdown celebration they've been dreaming about since draft day. And Stefanski says nope. You can almost see it happening in Stefanski's brain. Shedeur is not just benched, he is strategically ignored. There's a psychological warfare component here, as if the coach is waging a war no one knew existed. Fans don't just notice, they feel the cold, icy hand of disdain radiating from the sideline. Every time the camera pans to the bench and lands on Shedeur, you can almost hear the collective groan of 1,000 football lovers asking, why? Why not let him play? Why not give him 6 minutes, a couple of snaps, a meaningless drive to show off, maybe even pad his stats?
That wouldn't have put life back in the season. What are you talking about? 4 minutes of Shedeur Sanders handing the ball off to Quinshon or somebody else is not putting life back into the season, Nick.
No more than a 31-6 win over the Dolphins would.
I mean, how is that putting life back into the season? The game itself puts life back in the season, not Shedeur handing off passes for 5 minutes.
I think it was the implication that somehow that would be better than like the crowd wasn't hyped up enough about winning 31-6. I wasn't there, so I don't know what the crowd was like.
But Stefanski doesn't budge. He's rigid. He's unshakable. He's made it abundantly clear. Shedeur will not touch this field under his watch. Not while Stefanski is breathing air filled with coaching authority. It's almost impressive if you ignore the fan fury, the social media meltdown, the ESPN ticker that might as well just read, "Coach hates fun and apparently Shedeur Sanders." Duty, and let's talk about those 6 minutes. That's literally all it would take. 6 minutes, maybe 10 plays, some empty backfield handoffs, a couple of short throws, and Shedeur could walk off the field with the satisfaction of not being completely erased from history. Instead, we're stuck watching a spectacle of denial. You can see it in the faces of fans, the ones in jerseys, the ones holding banners, the ones live tweeting their disbelief. They're staring at the sideline like they just witnessed a magician pull the wrong trick. They can't understand it. They can't rationalize it, and honestly, a lot of them are questioning whether football even makes sense anymore. It's almost comedic how obvious it is. There's no subtlety. There's no maybe. He's just resting him. That excuse evaporates the moment you look at the clock, look at the score, and see the other quarterbacks or substitutes being cycled through like spare parts in a badly designed experiment.
That face right there tells you everything you need to know about Shedeur possibly getting in ever. Oh my God. Look how fucking happy he is. Look at this nigga, bro. I don't know if his number's gonna be called. There's no evidence to suggest that. Oh, they're going Wildcat? Interesting. Wildcat never makes sense to me because you always know what the fuck is coming. Oh, they're running it again.
Stefanski isn't resting anyone. He's sending a message. The message is, Shedeur doesn't get a victory lap. He doesn't get a moment of glory, and most importantly, he doesn't get Stefanski's approval. He is, in this scenario, a guest at a party where the host actively ignores him while everyone else gets cake. It's brutal, it's hilarious, and it's totally infuriating. 31-6, they scream. It's a digital riot. Memes start appearing immediately, of Stefanski as a villain in a superhero movie. A coach whose only superpower is the ability to deny Shedeur Sanders the simplest joys of life. Fans tag friends, send screenshots, record their own hot takes. Somewhere, a teenager who just got Shedeur's jersey for his birthday is staring at the TV, clutching it like it might give him the answers he seeks. And meanwhile, on the sidelines, Stefanski sits like a statue carved from stubbornness itself. You can imagine the internal monologue. This isn't about the score, it's not about the game. It's about principles. It's about authority. It's about making sure no one, not even Shedeur, thinks he's above the system. But here's the kicker. The system is literally making fans furious. The system is eroding trust. And the system, by all observable evidence, includes a deep-seated disdain for one particular player who has yet to make a single error in this game that's basically over.
All of the Browns isn't to see if to get Shedeur ready to go play in the game. During the games, during the week of practice, their good job is to make sure he is ready if he has to go into the game, or once they make him the starter, prepare him to be ready for the game. But once they're in the game, the goal is to win the game, not get anybody hurt, and get to the next week. They're not just sitting there going, well, Shedeur's been trying hard. We should put him in the game now. That's the only thing that would be fair. No, Dylan Gabriel's the starting quarterback. He gets to go out and play.
It's almost like he's staging a sitcom, only the humor is accidental, and the victims are the fans. Every play that Shedeur could be running is replaced by substitutes jogging out with a generic, "we're doing fine" vibe. It's absurd. It's theatrical. And it makes the audience, the fans, the people who live for these moments feel like they're in a Kafka novel set in the NFL. The stadium air becomes thicker, heavier, charged with the kind of suspense usually reserved for championship finals or meteor strikes. Every fan knows what should happen. Every analyst knows what should happen. But Stefanski? He's doing the exact opposite. It's almost artful in its audacity, like watching someone refuse to open a birthday present right in front of the child. The audacity is staggering, the timing perfect, the emotional payoff purely perverse. And the fans notice every detail. The slow head shakes, the clipped instructions to other players, the occasional glance at Shedeur like he's an unwelcome guest at a barbecue. Stefanski isn't just ignoring him. He's actively signaling a Cold War that has nothing to do with strategy and everything to do with personal disdain.
About 50 super chats, about 35 are related to Shedeur Sanders. Why people were mad and why they were curious, why they were trying to rationalize the fact that he didn't get in the game in garbage time for that final last drive with about 3 minutes left in the game. G and I, we gave our thoughts on the post-game show. G, yours intersect. But Bull, I want you to start because you just brought this up.
I mean, that's just nuts. Yeah. That's just nuts. First of all, putting him in the end of the game in a blowout, like,
he's
why
gonna
would you
only
do that?
You're not going to throw the ball. So
I know. What is the
what are we
point
going
of
to
putting him in
evaluate
the
his handoff skills?
I don't understand. First of all the people going nuts about Shedeur yesterday, like he should play. Most of those people are not Browns fans.
People start theorizing. Was there an argument in the locker room? Did Shedeur forget to reply to a text? Or is this pure, unadulterated, textbook-level coach hate? The possibilities are endless, the absurdity palpable. Meanwhile, Shedeur sits there, calm, composed, probably silently plotting his next move or at least mentally counting the seconds of his lost glory. It's almost Shakespearean in its drama, except with helmets and shoulder pads. And you start seeing the consequences. Fan energy dips, frustration bubbles over, complaints fly in every direction. Social media algorithms start to smell blood, amplifying outrage, creating threads with hundreds of replies, each one angrier than the last. Beams depicts Stefanski as a villain hoarding Shedeur's talent like a dragon hoards treasure. People start joking that maybe Stefanski is training Shedeur in a secret underground bunker for 6 minutes. Or perhaps he's secretly filming a reality show called Bench Wars. The imagination runs wild because the reality is already so absurd.
97, do you think Shedeur is better than Gabriel, or does it not matter because our receivers can't catch and the scheme is bad? I think Shedeur is better than Dylan Gabriel. I think that he has more upside. I think he has more size. I think he has more arm ability. Dylan Gabriel, by no stretch of imagination, is garbage. I think he's going to play backup quarterback in this league for a long time. I think he is intelligent. I wouldn't go the supercomputer route, but I think he has limitations.
The irony is delicious. Here's a game where everything is working perfectly, where Shedeur could strut onto the field and remind everyone why they're fans in the first place. And instead, Stefanski turns it into a spectacle of denial. He's losing fans with every tick of the clock. He's not just being stubborn. He's actively antagonizing the people who pay his salary. And yet, he seems completely unbothered. Maybe this is the plan. The 6 minutes feel like 6 hours. Every coach's decision, every pass not thrown, every fan gasp, it all coalesces into a single, undeniable truth. Stefanski hates fun, Stefanski hates celebration, and Stefanski absolutely, undeniably hates Shedeur Sanders. The scoreboard doesn't matter. The win doesn't matter. The narrative is set, and it's one of absurdity, hilarity, and complete disbelief. Fans leave the stands shaking their heads, muttering to each other about how they can't believe what they just saw. Analysts on TV try to decode it, but it defies reason. It's almost too perfect in its ridiculousness. And when the final whistle blows, the scoreboard reads exactly what it always should have: a blowout victory. Fans cheer, but there's a lingering bitterness, a sense of incompletion.
So it's official. Kevin Stefanski hates Shedeur Sanders. There's no way, no how, that he's going to actually ever put Shedeur Sanders in the game. If you can read the stats here, the Browns are up 31-6 No thanks to Dylan Gabriel. He only had maybe a little bit over 100 yards, no touchdowns, 2 sacks.
Shedeur Sanders never got his moment. Stefanski never blinked. And somewhere, in the annals of NFL history, a coach has etched himself into memory not for brilliance, not for tactical genius, but for sheer, unfiltered, unexplainable disdain. Fans talk about it for weeks, memes circulate for months, and everyone quietly acknowledges that sometimes the most fascinating games aren't the ones decided on points. They're the ones decided on personal grudges and the absolute absurdity of human emotion under the guise of professional authority. Fans are gnashing teeth, scrolling feeds, sharing clips, and inventing conspiracy theories that range from the plausible to the completely insane. Maybe Stefanski has a secret vendetta. Maybe he's convinced Shedeur is secretly plotting to overthrow the coaching staff with his arm strength. Maybe, just maybe, he woke up this morning and decided that today would be the day he publicly ruins every fan's mood for 6 minutes straight. Meanwhile, Shedeur sits there perfectly still, expression somewhere between patience and, "Are you kidding me?" He could take the field, throw a couple of touchdown passes, and it wouldn't even dent the scoreboard. Yet Stefanski refuses.
Guys, if you were at that game yesterday and you weren't excited enough about that win, maybe stay off. Maybe the brain rot is real. Like, I refuse to believe that the Browns fans, who I know have suffered through so much crap here recently, and certainly since before the little stretch of wins we've had with Stefanski, I refuse to believe that anyone was sitting there going, "Man, it's fine. It's okay."
You can almost hear the coach thinking, "Not today, not now, not ever." Like a sitcom villain with a playbook instead of a cape. And the fans? They are beyond bewildered. They are livid. They are inventing hashtags on the fly. Memes depicting Stefanski as a dark lord hiding Shedeur's talent in a dungeon, and gifs of Shedeur sighing in slow motion. There's a clear, undeniable, hilarious truth radiating from the sidelines. Stefanski cannot stand Shedeur Sanders. The disdain is palpable, so obvious it's almost performance art. He's sitting there refusing to let the star player take his moment, and the fans are furious. Absolutely furious. 6 minutes. That's all it would take. But no, Stefanski says nope, and just like that, the narrative writes itself. The coach versus Shedeur, an epic battle of stubbornness, pride, and pure comedic cruelty.